To be flexible, you must be strong. And to be strong, you must be flexible. Yoga is calisthenics, and calisthenics is yoga. Calisthenics comes from kalos, which means beauty in Greek, and denos, which means strength, beautiful strength. Yoga means union. When we practice yoga, we're uniting mind, body, and spirit. Calisthenics and yoga can benefit from each other in a lot of ways. The first and foremost way that yoga can translate into a better calisthenics practice is through breath control. Yoga is a breath-centered practice, and when we practice asana, which is the physical part of yoga, we learn to train our breathing, to move in the rhythm of our breath. And when you can do this, you can apply this to calisthenics as well. For example, with a push-up, as you lower down, you want to inhale, and as you push, you want to exhale. You can see this in boxers too. Whenever they throw a punch, they tend to exhale. And that's because naturally, anytime we're exerting force outward, we tend to exhale. Exhalation is the pushing force, whereas inhalation is the taking in, the pulling in force. And so any type of calisthenics movement you can apply this to. As you do a pull-up, exhale as you pull up, inhale as you come down. This way, you're working with gravity and using it to your advantage. In addition to this, in further yoga practice, pranayama, which is breath control, pranayama allows us to go deeper into the mind as well as the body and the spirit. And so by practicing breath control, we actually attain greater control of the mind and the physical body as well as a result. Just remember that the breathing is what strengthens the muscles and allows the muscles to function. So rather than thinking externally, muscle to breath, think breath to muscle. By training your breathing, your power and muscles will be trained as well. And this is something that yoga definitely shows you.
Strengthen your breath. How can your muscles be strong if what supports them is weak as a butterfly?
Yoga also fosters a great sense of balance. And balance is not just physical balance in certain asanas such as Natarajanasana. Balance is something you cultivate through yoga practice. Balance is not just internal and physical, but also mental and internal. And so when we're doing certain type of asanas, such as Natarajanasana, we're actually balancing out the sides of the body. And honestly, in all asana practice, what we're doing is we're evening out the left and right sides of the body. And by doing so, we're also evening out the left and right sides of the brain. Certain pranayama breath work techniques, such as Nadi Shodhana, where we're breathing in from one nostril to the other in a simultaneous pattern, is actually balancing out the two hemispheres of the brain and the two sides of the body. This applies to calisthenics as well, because then you can use the strength that you're building in a balanced way. So you might notice sometimes one side of the musculature is larger or more defined than the other, or sometimes you might notice one side pushes stronger than the other or pulls stronger. And so by practicing yoga, we can even that out. And so when we apply this to calisthenics, all of our reps become slower, stronger, and more balanced so that we're exerting the left and right forces evenly and working the body in a balanced way, maintaining balance holistically, and not just in the physical body, but in the mind as well. Range of motion is improved significantly through yoga practice. You might notice when you do a lot of reps in calisthenics, a lot of push-ups or maybe dips, you tend to build up a lot of tightness, and this tightness leads to a reduced range of motion. This is because the muscle needs to stretch, and when it does stretch, then the blood can flow properly through the muscle, and the oxygen can also flow properly through the muscle. And when you have this combination, then the range of motion is increased. When range of motion is increased, then every rep actually becomes more effective. You see this a lot when people try to do a lot of reps, but they're not going all the way down, or they're not going through a full range of motion. This is not effective because you're actually prioritizing numbers over the efficiency of your musculature and your body and the function. And so the idea is to prioritize function, and through yoga, by stretching out the muscles, we actually create a greater function for the muscles to work through, a greater range of motion that we can work our muscles through. And so it's just a matter of balance. You don't want to do too much of one, because then it'll create a tightness, and then that'll actually reduce your progress. And so when the tightness starts to build up, that's when you go to the mobility work, the asana work, the yoga. And so a lot of yoga actually strengthens the body as well, and strengthens the tendons, ligaments, and joints as well. There are a lot of calisthenics moves that strengthen tendons, ligaments, and joints as well, but not necessarily in the same way you would find in a yoga practice. Yoga practice is a very holistic form that brings about a more holistic approach to the physical as well as spiritual and mental wellness, and creates a body that is more supple and pliable, which allows you to achieve more in your calisthenics practice as well. Perhaps the greatest benefit of cross-training yoga and calisthenics is the mental clarity. Through yoga practice, we're creating a meditative state of mind, and this meditative state of mind is able to withstand the pressures of yoga asana practice as well as the calisthenics practice, which builds up a lot of tension and pressure. By practicing yoga and using your breath to remain calm, we foster a state of mind that is able to withstand the challenges of life and calisthenics as well. And so by creating a stronger mind, you create a stronger mind-muscle connection as well. And so this applies to your nervous system as well. You're actually strengthening not only the muscles and the gross physical parts of the body, but actually you're strengthening the nervous system, which is what governs all of the muscles and the physical system of the body. And so these are just some ways that a yoga practice can greatly benefit a calisthenics practice. Train both and generally just feel it out. Whatever you need to do will come to you. But definitely from my own experience, I can say practicing yoga and calisthenics together creates harmony in mind, body, and spirit. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful rest of your day.